More than ever in my life, do I understand the sentiment of old men just sitting around watching a field or watching nature. Like, I've worked with a whole worked. I've experienced a whole bunch of different states of being at this point. Stuff that relates to being extremely stressed out, stuff that relates to being very relaxed and very blissed out. And I just have to say, like, it's wonderful to just be allowing, to just allow whatever needs to happen. And I say this to you not from a place of, oh, I've reached it. Like, I've reached, like, whatever plateau or whatever you want to call it. Understanding, I suppose. I'm not above struggling with things. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I've never heard myself say that, but I'm not above struggling with things or thinking one way about something and then realizing, like, that way is one way to think about it, but I could also think about it in this way, which might be more relaxing and more allowing. So I take time on most days to just go outside and look up and stare at the tree line, and if I feel interested in it, is the bottom line. If I feel interested in it, if it seems to be my highest excitement at that moment, I'll go and I'll, like, sit down in this little, like, cove that I'm in right here, and I'll just, like, I'll close my eyes and I'll just listen. I love hearing, like, the wind go through the trees and the birds go crazy, and or sometimes I'll keep my eyes open and just, like, look around and, like, take it in, like, all the trees moving and just the green colors and the water running by, and I'm just like, this is so awesome. It does make me think, though, because, like, I think that when you're seeing something, you're seeing something in physical reality, typically your mind is like, all right, well, I see this thing, I see a mushroom on a log. Well, that already shows that when you saw that thing, your brain instantly used associations to build an understanding of that thing, to give you, the person observing your experience, a connotation and an understanding of that thing. So to see is to remember your knowledge of it from the past, and to give you a connotation of how to enjoy the present, or not enjoy the present because you're seeing something that you don't prefer. So to me, like, one of the things I'm trying to understand is, like, why is it so pleasant to just sit in nature and, like, just allow it? Because I'm still taking in all this stimulus, right? And, like, I've got my associations, but I guess there's only so many. It's like, that thing's made out of wood, and that thing's a plant, which might be alive, but has nothing to do with me. Like, doesn't really, like, I mean, in a way it has something to do with me, but doesn't really, like, carry any connotation. It's like, I mean, even, like, a poisonous, like, plant, you'd be like, okay, well, it's just a plant. Like, it's not really, like, it's like, I'm not upset because it's poisonous. It just is what it is, and that's how it has been, and that's nature, and nature is totally, like, functioning on its own. You could argue that it's an extension of our lives here on Earth, but I just, like, I don't know, it's just so interesting that, like, it's so peaceful to be outside and to sit and just contemplate and allow my space to be empty, like my mental space, which, when you have an empty mental space, that's what allowance is. It's saying, like, okay, well, this thing can come and go, or it can stay, or whatever. Like, oh, this thing cropped up. How am I going to respond to it? Well, if you're empty, and I know it might sound intimidating to some people. They're like, why would you want to be empty? Because then you're at peace with so many things. I spent some years believing that I didn't have any access to peace, only to find out that it's really up to me, that I could feel peace when I want to feel peace. And that if I'm not feeling peaceful, it's because I'm not taking the internal look of, okay, well, I have these associations or these rules for myself, these definitions of what equals happiness and what equals not happiness, what makes me feel a sense of lack. You can address all of that stuff in the moment. Like, you might feel like you can't change the world in 5 minutes, but you can absolutely change your mind. Like, you can absolutely change how you think about something. But it's also very easy to let the ego kind of, like, tell you, like, oh, you're feeling this emotion. You are the observer of your emotions, okay? You're not like you literally are the observer of your emotions and your experiences here on earth, which is why when I think about the image of an old man sitting on a porch just staring out at a field and just watching it wave side to side with the wind going, like, that's what peace is. It's not giving into like any particular emotion, and it's saying like, okay, well, I could be happy or I could be unhappy in this scenario that seems very neutral, and I'm just going to choose to be happy. Or I'm going to choose to be neutral and let this go. But honestly, man, like, I don't know. Today's video, I guess, is kind of all over the place. I'm just happy I'm making one. Like I've said in the past, I don't like to force myself to make videos. I like to just do it when it strikes me. I used to like when I first started, I told myself I'm not going to care about like the analytics. And then I was checking the analytics, and like, you know, it just made me think. It made me worry because I had associations, right? I was like, okay, well, if I don't get the same amount of views, then that means that whatever I was talking about either wasn't congruent enough or like organized enough or concise enough that people didn't want to see it. So I should change. No, that's incorrect. I don't want to change. Like, I'm not afraid of change. I will allow change to come. I have changed quite a bit. But I also am not someone to force change, especially if it's to become successful in terms of someone else's worldview. Or, yeah, I don't know. I'm having fun deconstructing my own view of the world. I'm not like trying to lose myself. Like, I still enjoy the things I enjoy. Like, I enjoy video games, and I enjoy reading books, and I enjoy sitting outside, which I used to never do. I used to always be in my room. Just always, man, always. And I still really love people. I'm not like hanging out with people being like, oh, well, this is like super lame, and I like, none of these people are worried about the same things I'm worried about, or like thinking about the same things I'm thinking about. Because I can give all that to myself, and through these videos as well, like I get the opportunity to talk to myself and perhaps inspire someone else. Because I suppose there is an element, and I don't, you know, I really believe that it's important not to speak from a place of lack. Because, like, you know, to speak from a place of lack is to say you desire something, right? So if you're saying you desire something, that shows that you're lacking in that thing. Whereas, you know, I think like a lot of emotional satisfaction and just experiencing contentness comes from yourself, and it doesn't come from like what the world can give you. There are experiences in the world that will make you feel content if you allow them to, but, you know, once again, what's facilitating that? It's you yourself allowing that to be what it is, to give it the associations. So I suppose in my life I look forward greatly to like see it even there, kind of like it's coming from a perspective of lack. But I'm okay with being a work in progress. I'm okay with that. Once again, boom, work in progress comes from a place of lack, not that I have everything I need. I want to reiterate, I do actually have everything I need. I realized that a long time ago now. A long time. What is time? I look forward to conversations in a community where, and I think this is the inevitable destination of all humanity, where we're all kind of like, what is life? Like, yeah, like we've prescribed it to religion in many different ways, and you actually get like some really interesting themes of religion all over the world that kind of arise. If you've never read, well, I mean, you don't have to read it. Forgive me, I love it. A Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung. It's really good, dude. So like in that book, there's a whole bunch of stuff talking about dreams and stuff, and it just goes to show like there are archetypal type of visions that come up in our heads, or understandings of reality and personality and associations that you have before you're even like educated on certain things, like religion. So like all over the world, you have these religions that are similar, and you have like, you know, examples like young kids who aren't even educated yet, and they're dreaming about religious symbols, and it's like, okay, is that inherited from like the memory, like in the genes, in the collective consciousness and collective unconscious. But I don't know what the explanation is, but it's just like, it just is that like there are themes of religion. So maybe if we like kind of dove into each religion and kind of like broke it down even more and more, and then like, I don't know. I just think that there's something more beneath the surface of our religions, and also just like of human existence. For a long time, we've kind of been like, all right, well, like here's, you know, this religion or that religion, and I'm just gonna like say, you know, you go like, you ask 7 questions deep, but you should have asked 8, you should have asked 9, you should have asked 10, because if you got to 10, then you'd be answering the question of what is consciousness. But I think that sometimes, you know, we like to go enough questions deep that we feel like, oh, well, I'm this thing now. I'm very spiritual, or I'm very religious, and I'm not demeaning these. These things are really great. They're part of the human experience, just like anything else. Like, if that's what you want to do that. I think that's awesome. And I don't think any one of them is wrong, to be honest. I really think it's this and that, not this or that. By the way, these are not all my original ideas. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but yeah. All right. I could wrap this up, probably. I feel much better. Thanks for coming to my vlog. Is that what it's? Video log, I guess, is just it. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I love being here. I love being able to have these moments where I just say, all right, well, let me just be present. That's a good example. Like, I love, like, when I wake up in the morning, I don't reach for my phone. Okay. Most of the time, I don't reach for my phone. I definitely allow myself the time to just be. And this comes back to, like, the beginning of the video I'm talking about, like, being an old man, just sitting there observing, just taking it all in, just for what it is. And not like dreading the future, not thinking about the past, literally just being in the present. I get that experience every single morning because I leave my phone, or like sometimes, so like I'm just being honest, like sometimes I look at it, see what time it is, see that I have some notifications. If I have a text message, I'll check that because it's typically from family. But then put the phone away and I just sit there and I allow whatever needs to come up to come up. And at first, like, you know, you're kind of like upset about it. You're kind of anxious about it. Like you get like things that come up. You're like, oh, I got this in my day to day. And I'm worried about that, or I'm feeling lack about that. Like I'm not prepared or whatever. And then like, or you'll have like happy things come up. And those days are easier than, or more preferable than the other days where you're feeling more worried. But if you do this every morning, where you just kind of have a moment where you're literally just like sitting there with yourself in your bed, and you're like, you know, you're not forcing yourself to get up right away, like, and I understand many people get up and go right to work. I'm saying, like, maybe give yourself some more time, give yourself another 10 minutes ahead of that, so that you can just sit there and allow whatever you need to process to come up, and just watch it, just like see it, be like, oh wow, I'm worried about this thing. Well, that reveals to me that this thing in my life is a point of stress. What do I want to do about that? Or I'm feeling some sort of restlessness. What am I feeling restless about? I don't know, but is feeling this way something I can control? It's at the very least something you can allow to exist and say, I am restless right now. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Like, life is full of experiences, and now I have this emotion, and I'm feeling it right now, and I'm just gonna let myself feel it, and I have no insistence that it goes away, because it's me. It's those emotions are, now I have said you're separate from your emotions, but also those experiences belong to you. You're the one defining how you experience things, so when you have an experience that's negative or positive, you're the one facilitating that, okay? So just like be okay with it. If it's happening to you, it's revealing something to you, okay? Revealing something to you about yourself. So just take some time, literally just be. Like, I almost feel physically like I'm empty sometimes, like I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh, finally, I've reached a place of like where I'm not feeling like my heart rate's up, or like I'm not feeling like this emotion or that emotion. I just am. And that is, I don't even know if you describe that emotion. You just are. I am. Like you're being. You're being. Congratulations. You're a human being and you're being. Good job. Anyway, I really should wrap this up. I love whoever watched this video. Like this is like, I call it the ramblings of a madman, but I know that I'm just chilling. I know that I am the most content I've ever been in my life, and it's because it's because of so much stuff. But number one, self-inquiry, asking myself, like, what do I think about this, and being okay with allowing my thought patterns to change, and realizing that I am not the labels that a younger me took on, or that society says present me may be, or whatever, because it's my experience. Like, it's literally my experience. Like, why would I choose anything that is coming from a place of lack? Well, I guess here's one reason. I choose to come from a place of lack to learn that I am not lacking. So anyway, I love you for watching this video. I also love you even if you didn't watch this video and you're not seeing me say this. I still love you. I guess I just gotta end it. Alright, I love you. Take care.